Alrighty, getting things going. Doing my usual check. Oh, alright. It's already working for me. Alright. Um, just working a little bit on the first boss fight for our game. And it's going to be against an actual boss, Mr. Burns. Let me see. So far, I actually started a new map for the boss fight, and I'm actually starting to work on programming it. For example, when the boss fight starts, you get a close-up of Mr. Burns, the music starts, then the camera pans back to Lisa. And I also got a few things that I programmed. Mr. Burns's asset there, his game sprite. It mirrors depending on which direction Lisa's. Basically, her X value, if she's her X value is less than or greater than Mr. Burns's X value. And I've also programmed it so when Mr. Burns collides with buildings, they just automatically get demolished. So let me show that off really quick. And let me know if you can hear the music, because we did get music from Renee Skunk. All right, so just start on it so far. As you can see, when Mr. Burns's asset right here is moving around, it's just sliding. I need to make an animation for it so that when he is moving, it plays that animation. So I'm going to start by working on that. Let me just pull up Adobe Animate. Oh, and we got some people. Alex Omar, you are a woman? I am not. I'm Dave. Daniel's here, says hello. I'll say hi back. Superior Cyber Godzilla. I'm sure you're interested in Mecha Burns. If you're a true Godzilla fan, you gotta love it when they go Mecha. Hey Jackie, how's it going? Next episode. I actually finished the next episode of Grande House already. Like I mentioned, Kaz, it's going to be something that was actually commissioned from our Patreon. So a little bit different from some of the other Grande House episodes. But I think I'll have that ready by Saturday. Mermaid Kitty is here. Hello. Having a good day. Thanks for asking, Mermaid Kitty. Hope you're having a good one too. Loud Casa fan Rico just said boss. Oh, and Moto Neko is here with a scream and an explosion. Hee All right. So this is Adobe Animate. These are this is where I make the assets and animations, and this is just sort of for scale. So at least it would be this big. Regular characters on the street would be this big, and a boss character like Mr. Burns would be this big. And you can see I keep the scale about the same. And so far, the only animation I have for him is a simple idle, for if he's just standing still. So I'm going to copy these frames. And you can see also I made it about a minute long. Or not, sorry, a minute long. 1 second long. 24 frames. And I can make copies of the assets in case I have to switch things up. It's gonna be tough. Let me see. Yeah, this one already has an animation on it. I think I can get away with keeping it pretty simple. Ethan Shaw's here. Hello. Something I am thinking about that I probably haven't thought since I was a kid was just what a weird term it is to refer to a boss character as a boss. I'd have to do some research and see like why they started calling them boss fights. But Mr. Burns is the boss, so I guess that makes sense. Maybe some video game programmer really hated their boss and decided to refer to some horrible screen filling monster as a boss. Rose Diamond is here. Lisa's unstoppable as a giant. I wouldn't say that, just because if she takes enough damage, she does lose her giantness. All right, so just making a simple walk cycle for Mr. Burns. I already have some ideas for attacks. And for what happens when he gets to 0 HP. Thinking of having his head thing rocket off while the rest of the body explodes. And as I shown before, having a rig, although they do take time to make, it does make it easier to make simple animations. Moto says, I think they're called boss fights because before you fight them, you fight their goons, servants, or followers. You know what? That's a good point. I mean, Shredder is the boss of the Foot Soldiers. Bowser is the boss of the Koopa Troopa. That makes all the sense in the world to me. So yeah, this kind of stuff does take time. I'm gonna try to keep the animations light for Mr. Burns. Probably just going to be maybe a simple laser attack with the eyes, or flying robot fists. King Tunes, when will Dan vs. Giant Woman Part 2 be uploaded? That's gonna take some time. For certain projects, I did want to attempt to do like a Kickstarter for them. Because as much as I love Dan versus, it's not the most popular video we've made. And the YouTube algorithm isn't always kind. So yeah, going to try and do that eventually. Do a Kickstarter thing for some projects that I'm uh, I'm really interested in, and then if they get some attention, some funding, we'll get it made. Los gameplays. The Elias says hi. And as you see, for simple walk cycle, it's gonna have up and down motion. Just realized it's probably going to need sort of an in-between, like a transition frame. MC Cubed is here. Hello. All right, and I've made so many of these kinds of simple walk cycles. It's actually pretty easy for me to just know what to do. Just um, sort of what keyframes I have to hit. So just to make it look like really fluid and nice, the up and down motion when the character is walking, a general idea of like leg placement and stuff like that. And something I can do as well, make a copy. Oops, let me move everyone else to the left. Make a copy, duplicate it. Very important to duplicate it. Isolate the frames. And then see how it looks. Oh, let's see, this is 21 frames. All right, so, and then check out to see how the loop looks. All right, loop is looking pretty decent. I could look at it and see that there's some things I can do to improve it for sure. The pelvis is kind of stationary, so I can try to move that a bit. Arms look a little stiff, so I can add some movement to those too. And the left leg there, I think I could extend it out a little bit when it takes a step, like with the first leg. But all in all, it looks a lot better than if Mr. Burns was just sliding around a little bit. So let me make those adjustments. Megan's here. Sorry I was late. No worries. Happens to the best of us. But also, I'm usually pretty late starting these, so it's all good. All right, let's let's add some upward motion to the arms. All right, and we'll extend the leg as previously mentioned. Let's see how that looks. Copy, property. And I'll copy these frames. I'll paste them into my my guy over here. We'll see how that looks. All right, definitely looking much better. Something going on with the arms there. You can see they kind of jump back and forth a little bit. Let's see. Up, down, up. Ah, it's not going down. Okay, let me fix that. Okay, let's see how that looks. Perfect. All right, so next thing to do, going to export this sequence of a bunch of folders. So I'm going to put this into Burns walk. All right, exporting. Lisa's about to strangle Homer for sure. No, Lisa loves her dad. She wouldn't do that. All right, moving to the game. This is a Construct 3 for anyone who's curious. Using Construct 3 for making the game and Adobe software for making the animations and all that. All right, so clicking into Mr. Burns right here. We got his animation 1, which is just his idle. I'm going to add animation 2. And I'll actually label it this time, walk. And then I upload the images I just made. There they are. And then I'm going to make sure that the origin point and all that matches with the first animation. So origin point's going to be right here. Seems to about line up with Mr. Burns. Apply that to the whole animation. And then for the box right here, this is what's mainly used for collisions and whatnot. And I think I mentioned this before. It's better to keep a very simple box for these. I know the first times that I was making these, I was sort of trying to make the shape match with the actual asset. But just a simple box it just works a lot better. And you want to make sure that your points on the bottom have the same Y value. You have to match it with the Y value of your origin point. So this is 943. So we'll do the same here. And then just match up with the rest. So X right here is 199. Make this X 199. This X is 477. So keep that 477. And the Y value here is 317. So we'll do the same right here. 317. And we have a perfect little rectangle. And then so I don't have to do that for 20 plus frames, I can just right click, apply to whole animation, apply to whole animation, and then all the frames will have the same origin point, which is important, and the same collision box. Ashley Von Belu? I'll just say Ashley. Sup, bro? Not much, Ashley. And Ethan's already saying some stuff, so I'll have to put him on timeout. All right. So now that I have an animation for Mr. Burns when he's walking around, just go to the event sheet. Got everything programmed right here. So specifically for Mr. Burns, I have him under bosses. Mr. Burns' behavior is an 8 direction behavior, so he can move up, down, left, right. So something I can do, let's see, add event to bosses. And I can make this for all boss characters, or I can make it specifically for Mr. Burns. Let me see, sprites. I think he's got under baddies, Mecha Burns. So his 8 direction behavior when he is moving. You can set his animation to the walk animation. And when he is not moving, we can actually invert that. When he's not moving, we can set his animation to the idle. And we can add a trigger so that this only happens once while it's true. So that basically isn't repeating the same command. So it's not resetting the walk animation on and on. All right, let's see how that looks. All right. So something didn't go right. Let me try taking out this trigger right here. Let me see if that does things differently. All right, looks like we got it going. But I forgot to to alter the speed. So walk. I'm gonna set the speed at 20. Looping. All right. Let's see how this looks. Charles Buchanan's here. Hello. Christopher Wilkinson. All right. I just noticed something else. I think I made his collision box a little bit too big. So basically, even though he's down here, he's exploding buildings up there. So I need to leave his collision box at about this size. So I'll fix that. And let's see, we got Froster. My goodness, you're making a boss battle? This looks great. Thank you. Just the very beginning, just getting some opening stuff out of the way, and hopefully I'll get a start on like some attacks. Maybe get a health bar asset going, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to finish it later today after I'm done with the live stream. Just sort of showing off that there's progress being made. And Rory Ocelot's here. Yes, I am continuing progress on the game. All right, so I got to finish. Got to alter this. Try 880. It definitely needs a smaller box. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, much better. All right. So I got some basics down for Mr. Burns. So next I can work on a basic attack for him. So he's in a giant mech. Probably something like robot punch would work, or like shooting some nuclear lasers, which causes like an explosion to build up. Um, could probably shoot like missiles into the air, or summon uh, plant workers to attack Lisa. So lots of options. Let me switch it to Adobe Animate. And I'll move this animation here. All right. And I'll get started on the next animation. And I gotta say, just been streaming for 36 minutes. This is some pretty good progress so far. Sometimes I will get stuck on something and I could be like really laser focused on it for like hours trying to figure out like, all right, why isn't this doing what I want it to do? And I'll just run all kinds of tests. I'll just try doing a lot of different things and see if um, I can isolate where the problem is coming from, what the source of the issue is. Let's see here. Ramon Ivan Esquire with the cute emotes. Carlos Studios with the face. I like that face. Mr. Joker. You could make a trap door. You could make a trap door Lisa could fall through, like how Mr. Burns has in his office. That would be insanity. Oh, but that's such a Mr. Burns thing. It's amazing. I remember there was an episode. This is late season episode where Homer falls through his trapdoor and it was like under renovation. Uh, they used to have so much fun with trapdoors in like the early seasons of The Simpsons. Now it's just sort of a meta joke thing, like, hey, remember when we used to do all these trapdoors uh, gags with Mr. Burns? Um, I'm tempted to. I just think that would be like just too much. Like where they would appear, just everything would sink into them. In a different game, I definitely go full trapdoors with Mr. Burns if they were in his office. It did make me laugh a lot. Oh my god. I'm actually considering it. I'd have to make a new animation for Lisa though. Um Basically it would have to be that if Lisa is under it when the trapdoor goes off, she has a fall animation. Kind of like if you've seen on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, they basically like just are floating over the hole for a moment and then they realize they're over the hole and there's like a falling animation. I'll definitely consider it. It's too good. Rory Ocelot. Great job. I want to make my own games. Yeah, nothing's stopping you. If you have the right software, you can do that kind of stuff. Um, Adobe Fresco. Not sure what Adobe Fresco is. Is that like for art students? Actually, I want to pull up the game real quick. Uh, I'll consider the trapdoor, but like I said, it would just be so difficult to implement. One thing I'm thinking right now is maybe making a bunch of points, like random points around Mr. Burns that it could appear. And besides having the effect on Lisa that it gives her that fall animation, um, it'd have to destroy buildings. Uh, Also, would that be an insta kill? Because I feel like most of the time when someone goes through Mr. Burns' trapdoors, it's an insta kill. Insta kill or at least insta incapacitate. Firewolf the Wolfkin's here. What did I miss? Not much. Just made a new animation for Mr. Burns' mech. Going to make an attack animation for him. I also love Mr. Burns' metric booby trap. That's such a fun joke. What's my favorite uh, trapdoor gag from The Simpsons? um, Shoot, it's not a trapdoor gag, but I do love it when he like um Homer's like right there uh asking him for something and he's just pressing the button to release the hounds, but nothing happens. And Mr. Burns says something like, "There should be a pack of hounds ripping you to shreds right now." Homer's response is just, "I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say." If I can't do the trap door thing, maybe I could. Oh, I could definitely do that. I could have him release the hounds. Actually, let me make a note of that real quick. Uh, Mr. Burns trap door question mark. Release the hound. Definitely do the hounds. Trapdoor might be a stretch. But hounds, I think I can definitely do. All right. Lenny will break your fall. Mr. Burns, try to land on Leonard's carcass. That was one. That episode, I was actually genuinely concerned for Lenny. It's like, oh no, did they kill off Lenny? Uh, let's. How can I do that laser I want? Guess I could have his eyes glow for a moment. I do miss freehand instead of drawing the drawing tablet on fresco. Uh, yeah, definitely when you're, making art, figure out what works best for you. Like for me, which is kind of weird, everything I've done, I'm using a mouse for it. I just got used to it. early on, and it just works for me. So yeah, figure out what works best for you. If you prefer freehand, if you prefer drawing tablets. I just tell him I didn't shoot you. Oh my god. That was such an intense episode where there was a manhunt for Homer. And that's another good one. The painters moved your desk, sir. Trapdoor fails. Um, I gotta watch some episodes after this. It's Mr. Burns is just such a great antagonist. One of my favorite things I think from later seasons of The Simpsons was the episode where he recognizes Grandpa as Glamorous Godfrey, like a classic wrestler from his time. That's such a fun episode. Also has probably one of the more notable Mr. Burns songs. I've seen people do some fun parodies of it. The one where he's singing about how great it is to be a villain, to be the heel, and just listing off all these famous villains and bad guys. I think I've seen some people like do a parody version where they're mentioning like their own villain preferences. What else can I do to add a glow to this guy? Bum, 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 bum. Let me see. Oh, I might need to put that on a different layer. Or the Christmas episode with Skinner. He opens a trap door and the kids fall. Oh, I love that one. Oh, it's doing that thing again. It's like, what? What? It's. Is there a wormhole situation going on there? That's the only thing I could reasonably think is going on with that. That's a good, that's a decent episode, and that's a good trapdoor gag right there. Video Game Masters there, as here. Hello. Yeah, I was thinking of laser attack. I know it's pretty basic for a robot, but it's a simple thing for now. I never liked that Doctor Stupid. uh, when you said that, I was thinking of Doctor Stupid from Ren and Stimpy. But then I remembered that the episode now, the play that they're putting on for Mr. Burns. Classic Ralph. That's a classic Ralph moment right there. What happens in the rest of that episode? Oh, is that the one with the toys that kill other toys? That toy on toy violence. It's me, Zelda Lover. Yeah, I saw the Avatar video game master. Your daily amigo. Hey there, could you do a growing video? Want to see my show? It's on my channel's podcast. Uh, leave a link. I'll check it out later. Yeah, Funzo. That's what it was. Crayon and more. And that's a no on you, Crayon. All right, sorry about that. Elongated Man is here. Hola. Maybe this would look better if it was slightly transparent. Could add another effect to this. Uh, 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 uh. Let's see how that looks. Maybe a blur effect. Uh, and I'll also want to add like maybe some lightning or some sparks flying out. Ooh, maybe I can make the dome like start turning red. Kind of want to telegraph these attacks so it doesn't just come out of nowhere. You see how that looks? Going to change the tint. Ooh, that's going to look cool. All right. That'll be perfect. Da, da, da. Like I said, amigo, I'll have to look at your channel. Um, I just have like so many personal projects. Sonic. Yo, what's up? Not much. Oh, it's almost been an hour. So I think I'm going to finish by completing this animation, and then I'll call it. I will continue working on this today. This is a Patreon thing. I'm not going to do the laser yet, but I am going to do a reset. So that when he goes back to his idle, it's not like it's bouncing back from this to this. Right, so at this point, he'll start resetting back to his original frame. And then I'll make a separate asset for the lasers. Zero tint. Let's make that disappear. That disappear. And get rid of that glow effect. What the heck? Go away. Where's that glowing coming from? This thing right here. All right, there it is. First time I've seen The Simpsons was their cameo in the Sesame Street song Monster in the Mirror. And that is something I have never seen, and I must consume it. I must see it. Monster in the Mirror. Sesame Street. All right, I'll take a look at that after my live stream. Speaking of seeing Simpsons stuff in other media, I've noticed like on Bluey, they do a lot of fun little Simpsons references. I hope if they're making, sorry, if they're making more episodes of Bluey, I hope they make some more Simpsons references. That would be a lot of fun. Mr. Burns up to something, all right. Let's see how tough he is with his destructive toy. It's funny that Mr. Burns' stuff usually just sort of collapses on itself. Like his sun blocker. Like a bunch of guys with pickup trucks were basically able to disassemble that. Weirdest Simpsons cameo is home. An episode of Duckman. Yeah, I love that one. It was like a classic mystery in like a mansion. They were plumbers, and Homer just comes out at the end of the episode. It was so great. But throughout that whole series, they kind of did mention, like when they were making fun of the show, Duckman, they were always saying like, uh, calling the series like a wannabe Simpsons. I guess just because of the humor, and Duckman's yellow, so maybe they were trying to get a Simpsons vibe going. Muffin, you can't steal your dad's phone. Ah, that sounds more British than Australian. That episode's so good. I shouldn't be helping you. There's something I saw recently on YouTube. It was like uh, Bluey fighting the Emperor and Mace Windu from Star Wars. It's hilarious. Hmm. Right now, I'm actually thinking about the X-ray machine from when they were making the Radioactive Man movie. Also, maybe because I've been playing D&D, and some of the attacks come in the form of like a cone. I'm gonna see if I can rip um that X-ray sound effect. Maybe I could give this thing an extra effect, like it makes sort of like a hot spot on the floor. Yeah, that glow effect adds makes it definitely look more menacing. Let's see here. Da-da-da-da. And I gotta wrap up soon. Mm. Let me see how that looks. Oops. Glow. Make that a graphic. Oh, that'll actually look pretty cool. Yes. All right. All right. With that, I think I'll wrap it up. I'll see if I missed any comments. Remember those robot Smithers and Burns got when the power plant was on strike? No, I think those would actually be pretty good. I think today I'll make some hounds. I'll make some Burns bots. I'll make the ones that you're mentioning, Joker, not the ones from the other episode where the full episode was about the robots taking over the plant. That one's actually a good episode, but I feel bad for those robots. So yeah, I'll look up the episode. I think the Crush Kill Destroy bots would be pretty good as an enemy mob. Da, da, da. Oh, not too many comments. That's good. I think the animation studio that did the early seasons of The Simpsons did Duckman as well. Uh, oh yeah, you're talking about the really weird pilot for the Simpsons. Yeah, that might have been Class B Supo. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Someone paid legendary artist Jim Lee 20,000 for him to do a Bluey sketch. Oh my goodness. I gotta look that up too. That sounds amazing. And I still want to do something with Tina. Someday, maybe. Wilt shrinking? He already shrank though in a Destination Imagination. Oh, I should add that as a note here. Crush, kill, destroy bots. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here for a very productive session. Thank you for your ideas. Thank you for making Simpsons references. I always appreciate that when I'm working on The Simpsons. And I got some good ideas I will try to implement. Definitely want to do something with hounds. Hounds or the crush, kill, destroy bots. I'm leaning toward the bots just because I love dogs. I don't want Lisa hurting dogs. Um, if I did anything with Tina, I think I'd first do like an art contest. I've mentioned this before. Uh, pick like the best design for her and just animate it for like a short. Um, but yeah, someday. So many projects, so little time. Hee hee. All right, everyone. Thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.